A 24-year-old male, just got dumped on my birthday a few days ago. Long story short, I'm in a new city, and I went into a fancier bar and grill restaurant to treat myself, table for one. It was incredibly awkward sitting there alone, with no one to talk to. I got in my head about how weird I am for being there, but as I relaxed a bit, I noticed the waitress was being extremely friendly, borderline flirting. The food was great, and I just sat back and enjoyed the environment. I appreciated the architecture of the building and patio area. It just turned out to be a great time. So I'm curious, what do you do alone that isn't normal, and how do you make it enjoyable? Story 1. After my divorce some years back, I spent a lot of time alone. I really underestimated how great it was. I met a couple of short-term interests by having a nice dinner alone. Go live your best life. Story 2, walking. Just walking. I look at things, enjoy the faces, get to know new areas. It's a great way to prevent depression from catching up to me, and I always feel good when I'm out. Late evening is my favorite time. Story 3, movies. I have a house full of willing people, but I sneak out and go alone. During the day is best. You can sit by yourself where you can't hear anyone chew and fiddle. No one tries to whisper to you. You see exactly what you want. I love midweek, daytime, small-town movies. Story 4. I love going to a nice restaurant alone. And yes, I've noticed that in a good establishment the staff are more attentive than they are if you are with someone. I also like to go to a nice traditional pub for an afternoon and a couple of pints of really good craft beer. Sometimes I will sit at the bar and chat with the bar staff or other customers. Sometimes I take a book and read. I also think art galleries and museums are best experienced alone. You can spend more time at the pieces that really interest you and less at the ones that do not. Story 5, exercising. Whether that's going for a run or bike ride. I also travel alone sometimes, and it's lots of fun because I get to just do what I want and not worry about anyone else. Keep your head up. Story 6. I like what you said. I did the same thing back when I was single, even booked hotels in strange cities to visit museums I really wanted to see all by myself. I also recommend kayaking. Very nice to do on your own, but also fun with friends. And taking care of your kayak can turn into a proper hobby by itself. Story 7, shopping. Whenever I'm in the supermarket, I like to zigzag through all the aisles and just see everything. I can appreciate how others may dislike this, so this is why I prefer to do this alone. Story 8. At some point in life, all your friends get swept up in jobs, family, relationships, and commitments. It's better to do things alone because wherever you go, whatever you're doing, there are going to be other people doing it as well, and it's easy to make new friends when you instantly have that in common. Don't let old friends hold you back. Story 9. No one except you cares if you are dining alone. However, I will say if it bothers you or if you would simply like a little company, sit and eat at the bar. There are always solo folks there, plus you can chat with the bartender. Story 10. I go out alone all the time. Eating, drinking, seeing live music, etc. I think it is all about your mindset while doing it. If you're open to having conversations with strangers and chatting, it can be great. I have found a few good pubs where the environment is friendly, and I can meet and make friends. It's actually kind of nice after a while. Story 11. I travel for work. I am in a new city almost every week, and 8 out of 10 times that I travel, I am alone. I have come to realize that being comfortable being alone and not needing to appear that you are with someone is a strength many people do not possess. People will judge you for literally everything. Most of the time, it has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. If they believe what you are doing is weird, it is more of a reflection of themselves than you. All you truly have in this world is yourself. Make yourself happy first. Learn to enjoy solitude, and you will rarely be lonely. Story 12. When I have my alone time, I will go walk around the downtown area of my city, enjoy the views in the little shops, sit on a bench, people watch and enjoy the sounds in buildings. Also, a good hike helps me to enjoy the beauty of Mother Nature and the solitude that's around me. Story 13. Cooking is a great hobby to have. It can take all day or just a few minutes, and you can pour your soul into a dish or throw something together. You can cook to reward yourself or make something to share with others. It's a great way to explore your own tastes and personality or to explore a new culture. Cooking is an important life skill, and since eating is necessary, it's easy to spend money on without feeling bad. Plus, whenever you're ready to get back into the dating game, people love someone who can cook. Story 14. Brewing beer or wine, gardening, making music, working on motorcycles, 3D printing, cooking. Basically anything constructive where I can sit back after and pat myself on the back, going to the park with the dogs. I have a significant other, but I still like alone time. Story 15. For me, people who already have a noticeable social circle might feel less intimidated if they do some activities on their own, as it's their choice and just want to get away a bit from their normal routine. But for people who are already lonely, with not many friends to share things with, it is rather depressing as it increases the feeling of loneliness. Personally, I avoid going to the cinema or concerts alone. It makes me realize how much I need someone to share the experience with. Story 16. Everything I do. Riding my motorbike and playing guitar are probably the top two, though. Today, I haven't spoken a word to anyone, and I got a bunch of chores done and enjoyed my favorite TV show. Tomorrow, I plan to be alone again, clean my bike, and finish my show before studying the next day. Story 17. As a twice-divorced, middle-aged, disabled paraplegic man, I have gotten used to doing everything I want to do solo. If I want to go, I go. Sorry about your recent breakup. Story 18. Honestly, I don't get why people do everything with each other. Some things can be fun with other people, such as video or board games. But I don't see the point of, say, going to the store with someone. Story 19. Going to a restaurant with a nice relaxing book is bliss, and it's best done alone. Even better, staying at a hotel that has food service at a pool and enjoying a meal while reading poolside. There are few simple joys in life better than reading while someone brings you food. Story 20. If I want to visit a fancy restaurant by myself, I usually bring a book I know is going to make me laugh. That way, no matter how I feel, I end up smiling as I chuckle to myself. Also, going to the movies by myself. Absolutely, I will take a day to use my American Multi-Cinema Stubs list to see all the new releases in the same day. What of it? With a quick break for lunch or dinner. No one is around to judge me or talk to me, and it gives me plenty of things to talk about when the work discussions include them. Going on long walks. Do I want to sit and watch the water? I am sitting. Do I want to pass this annoying family that is hogging the entire strip? Easily done. Story 21. I pretty much do everything alone. My favorite things are camping, fishing, going to the movies, having dinner, and celebrating my achievements. They are enjoyable specifically because they are done alone. There's no one to worry about, whether they are having a good time or trying to make sure you pick a place to eat where everyone will be able to find something. I know a lot of picky eaters. And finally, at the end of the day, I managed to do more with less time wasted because we all know that no two people are ever ready to go at the same time. Story 22. I got a metal detector during the pandemic because I love history, being outside, and away from people. I've ended up really loving the hobby. I found lots of interesting things and a handful of silver with a sprinkle of gold jewelry on top. My oldest coin so far is a 1902 barber dime. Unfortunately, on the West Coast, we don't have as much history, so finding anything older than the 1870s is very rare. I found a club eventually, and we all share our finds on the club's Facebook page and organize meetups and hunts. So, while it's a solo activity, it's fun to have like-minded individuals out with you. If anyone is interested, I would recommend the Nocta Macro Simplex Plus. It's probably the best entry-level detector on the market and one of the best purchases I've made in a long time. Paid it off with the coins I've found twice over. Story 23. I've lived my life mostly alone by preference. I always found comfort in simple things. The hot tea in a cafe, sitting by a large window and watching life outside pass by, walking through quiet parks, admiring the sun passing through the tree leaves, or the breeze making ripples on the ponds. I like to walk by fancy buildings or old mansions, observing the architectural details, the ironwork, the paint jobs, the stained glass. When in New York City, I really liked my time at Coney Island, standing on the pier to stare into the horizon over the Atlantic Ocean, wondering about the rest of the world and how things are going on out there that I'll never know about. There was always a whole planet living daily life beyond those waves. You can find 1,000 ways to deeply appreciate the solitary life. There's clarity and peace outside the noise of a chatty companion or lover. Story 24. On July 1st, 2023, Reddit maliciously attacked its own user base by changing how its application programming interface was accessed, thereby pricing genuinely useful and highly valuable third-party apps out of existence. In protest, this comment has been overwritten with this message because deleted comments can be restored, such that Reddit can no longer profit from this free, user-contributed content. I apologize for this inconvenience. Story 25. When I go to restaurants alone, I bring a book so I'm not on my phone the whole time. I also try to sit at the bar instead of a table. It's a better environment for a party of one. Story 26. Anything quiet. Live music will also do the trick. Local bands and not local cover bands always a big plus. A nice walk in a scenic place will work wonders too. Story 27. Maybe this is extreme, but I really enjoy holidays alone. The best Christmas I've ever had was just me and the cat spending the day together. I made myself a nice fancy meal and opened up presents I bought for myself and the cats, letting them enjoy the catnip. It was nice to just have a stress-free day to celebrate and be present. To be fair, I'm not close with most of my family, and holidays were always super stressful growing up. I love going out to eat or to shows alone as well. I just can't get that same sense of complete peace with others around. Story 28. Start building your own life. Learn to feel what you like to do and what not. Go mountain biking, acting, choir singing, or playing Warhammer. I suggest something that's active to keep you in good condition. And in no time, you will find like-minded people. After all, we are all alone in a way. Story 29. I've never felt awkward eating alone. I travel a lot for work, usually by myself, and I'm going to eat. If it helps, just pretend you're a high-power executive traveling and don't have time for someone else in your life. Story 30. MDMA. Have a day of just nothing planned. Make sure the house is clean and tidy, and everything is sorted so you have nothing to do but enjoy a roll at home with some music and chill. Story 31. Watching series or movies. Every time I watch it with someone else, they start unnecessarily talking about random things except the one thing that is right now on screen. Story 32. You lost a girl, but you gained a lot of time. Focus on your passion if you hate your job, and write that book, song, or screenplay you've been thinking about. Story 33. Sitting in peace and quiet, nothing else, just the silence. No bickering, no nagging, no petty arguing. Just silence so quiet that you can, for the first time since dating, hear your own thoughts. No matter what kind of thoughts, just the fact that you get to hear them is nice. A bonus is to listen to music you like without the nagging or noise of a whiny person telling you to turn it off, they don't like it, or to turn it down. Another bonus is you get your bed back from the bed thief. You finally get to lay however you want unless you have cats or a dog, in which case, ignore this. Story 34. Sorry you got dumped. But yeah, she probably respected the hell out of you for going there alone. Takes courage to do that. Keep doing it and find your inner comfort in being in your own energy. Story 35. Hiking. As long as you know your limits and are safe, you don't have to wait for anyone else. Go at your own pace. You can take on challenging hikes without someone else getting tired or complaining. Story 36. I used to love going to a movie and then going out for dinner afterward. I would bring a book or Kindle to pass the time. One neat thing about seeing a movie alone is, if you get up to use the restroom, you don't have to come back to the same seat. You can sit anywhere else too. Story 37. Gambling. Not saying it's healthy, but the poker tables are where all the loners go, so we're there together. More healthy. Hiking because I don't like waiting on anyone else's pace. Story 38. I find that when I go eat out by myself, I almost always become acquainted with the shop owners. I'm from an Asian country, so the server is usually also the owner. So eventually it's less going to eat alone, and more paying an acquaintance a visit. We don't talk at all, beyond exchanging familiar head nods. but it creates an environment filled with familiar strangers. For movies, I go because I like the content rather than as a social activity, so it's always fun that way. Then I discuss the theories on Reddit. The only activity that I much prefer in a group versus alone is video games. I visit the internet cafe often to play with my friends. Story 39. My girlfriend of 3 years left me mid-pandemic. I took some money I had and some stimulus funds and started growing cannabis. Best decision I've ever made. If that isn't an option for you, just find something you want to grow and start growing it. The garden is my place of peace and tranquility. You'll forget about old what's her name as soon as you are ready. Story 40. Disc golf baby. I like the outdoors but never really had a reason to go out. So I stayed inside and bored myself to exhaustion. However, I randomly bought a simple disc golf set and found a course nearby. It's pleasant, quiet, and every now and then I get to meet some really cool people. Played with a bird watcher who showed me all sorts of things, a couple of funny potheads, and some really upper crust lads who can have a good time. And even then, I still enjoy it alone. Story 41. Just do everything alone. It isn't weird. Anyone who says it's weird is weird. The real trick is to enjoy your own company, which might be a little hard to do if you're in a funk from a recent breakup. But keep at it. Being active and being outside do wonders for improving one's mood. Sometimes nothing beats just hanging out somewhere on your own and just relaxing a bit, without having to concern yourself with anything or anyone but yourself. Eventually, with practice, you'll learn how to be alone without being lonely. Story 42. First, welcome to the club. I learned more about myself and others after experiencing a divorce in my early 30s. I agree with everything mentioned. Concerts, movies, hikes, walks around the neighborhood, and dinner are all great to do alone. However, I'd say the most freeing and fulfilling experience one can have is traveling alone. Being a stranger in a strange land can lead to wonderful experiences, and you come out of it with great stories too.